Guys, I'm back, and I'm back here with few more topics to talk about. Alright, so let's get into it. The first one is human cloning should be legalized. Assuming this is possible by the time when we decide if it should be legalized or not, I would probably go against the fact that humans should be cloned. Just because there's so much dangerous factors to it once we start doing it and once we legalize it. Because just coming from my thoughts and just coming from the knowledge I have, I feel like once you start cloning, since they have all the same instincts, thoughts, and looks compared to the original, we can't tell them apart from the original. So that could possibly cause an existential crisis for the original and increase the depression rate or mental illness even more than how high it is right now. Second, you never know if they'll obey us, because in the end they're a clone of us, and we humans like to become free. Freedom is one of the biggest part of being humans, because we're on top of the food chain as of now. And if we clone ourselves, the clones can get together, and then they can try to um overthrow the originals to take their place. And if that happens, not going to be the most pleasant experience to go through. Especially if they're clones, you can't tell them apart. So who's gonna kill who? And it's just gonna end up in a big. It's just going to be. It's just going to end up as a big tragedy. We all don't want that. Third, if that technology goes to a country that is a bit more threatful to the rest of the world, such as North Korea, and yes, a country like North Korea, and possibly China, because of whole COVID thing. Once they start cloning, you never know what they're going to do with that technology. Possibly they can try to challenge bigger staples of the world that is sort of maintaining peace, such as USA and the UN itself. And it's just going to end up being a chaos to go through. And yeah, so those are the three reasons why I go against the idea of cloning. Moving on, the next topic is climate change is the greatest threat facing humanity today. Undoubtedly, it is one of the biggest ones, and personally, I feel like it is the biggest one, not one of them, but the biggest one we as species have to sort of figure out and get a way to fix it, if you know what I mean. Like climate change, in the end, we made it happen rapidly quicker. It is insane. We have over 100 years, the average Celsius. I'm in Korea, so I use Celsius. The average Celsius has increased by one. Now that may not seem a lot, but that's only in between 100 years. Now imagine in 1,000 years, it's going to be around 10 degrees higher. Yeah, pretty high if you ask me. It's like 35 degrees here in Korea in summer. 1,000 years from now on, it's going to be 45 degrees. That's incredibly hot. So, yeah, it's one of the biggest threat we have to go through, and we definitely have to solve because we humans are basically the source of and the reason of why this whole climate change started to happen all of a sudden because of the fast industrial revolutions and just how quickly the how we are evolving and how we are using some harmful chemicals to the environment. And I really do feel like it's our responsibility to clean up our own mess. Because in the end, if we just let this be, without a doubt, inevitably, this is going to affect humans as well. In short 20 to 50 years, even 10 or 10 to 30 years, it's probably going to affect us. Some professionals predict that it's going to have a huge impact on us, starting from oceans to forests and then so on. We're not going to have enough food, we're not going to have enough resources, and we as a species might as well just collapse because the ones below us, they don't have any homes or foods or a suitable climate to stay in. So, yes, I do feel like this is one of the biggest responsibility and the biggest problem we as a species have to solve. And yeah, that's my opinion on those two topics, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya!